Bam, we're live. Uh-oh, where's the guest? Good morning, Travis, Alyssa, Brandon, Susie, Carol. I like it how the Brazilians always put their flag. You ever notice that when you watch like CrossFit Games events? If it's the Americans, it's all chatty Cathy. And the Brazilians are just all flaggy Cathy. Just tons of flags, just cruising down the side. Keenan, good morning. I don't think I've ever known a Keenan. Kenneth, good morning. I was just pulling up the tabs that I wanted to show you for today's show. Today's guest, it's cool. It's crazy because I first met her on the CrossFit podcast. I kind of want to show it to you guys, but I'm afraid to show it to you because I don't want to get those fucking guys over there at CrossFit will report me lickety split to try to get me off the air. But I think it was 2017 or 18. I should wait till she gets on here. I bet you she has a way better memory than I do. Jiggy Josh. Anyway, when I met Athena Perez, it was just sparks and fireworks just right away. It was just cool. Like I was like, it was like just meeting a good friend just right off the bat. It was cool. We just could cut through the bullshit. I mean, more than that, it seemed like just like someone and I was hugely interested in her story. And she's very intelligent and articulate. So yeah, special delivery day, Travis. Oh, that would be awesome if my shirt showed up today. God, you're a good dude. It was just we were just kin. I just knew I like listening to people who have good stories, and she's a great storyteller, and she's lived an incredible journey. In the last 3 days, I just powered down her book. You can get her book on audio. It's called Lifting the Weight. You can buy. I bought the book. I don't know, 2 years ago, and never read it. I was like, well, I already had her on the podcast. I already know all this, and I've talked to her periodically. 2 or 3 times a year. We'll have a phone call. But I listened to the audiobook of this. This is so good. She's like the smart version of Forrest Gump. Her life really just kind of just trots along in this pattern or in these twists and turns that you can't even imagine with the FBI and police and just all sorts of wild shit. All sorts of wild shit. It's interesting. It says a story about faith, fitness, and perfect timing. In the opening chapter, it's like really God-centric. And I was like, man, is a lot of this shit just going to be over my head or too preachy for me? And I not even close. Not even close. I don't know if I have a I don't know if the whole God thing's a trigger thing for me or I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm always like on guard as soon as I hear that. And it didn't even got through chapter 1 easily, and then it was just to the races. Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I had to make like 2 extra cups of coffee, so I have like 1 cup right here, another cup right here.
I have this podcast right after this one. What I don't even know if I'd call it a podcast. It's we're going to talk about the games, and I asked my wife this morning. I was like, so can you just have another cup of coffee ready for me?
That's kind of what I did.
Are you addicted to coffee, you think?
Yes.
You think it's a bad addiction?
No.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Me too.
No.
But I don't like the idea of being addicted to anything.
You know what? I've actually thought through this a bunch of times.
Okay, good. Justify.
Yeah, I'm trying to justify. Am I actually addicted to it? I don't know if I ever drank coffee for the caffeine. I drank it because I genuinely like drinking warm things. And
right.
I've tried to do tea and I just can't do tea. I don't do it every now and then, but
it's not sorry. When I say coffee, sorry, what I really mean is caffeine.
Oh, I don't know, because this is the only caffeinated beverage I drink.
Right. And you do put cream in it? Is that what you said?
No.
No, you no cream.
Well, if I get an iced coffee, I'll put a little half and half in it, but hot coffee, no.
I do my first cup with heavy cream. And then if I have other cups, I don't. Because my first cup I kind of justify as breakfast. Or strong coffee has some shit you can put in it too. And if I'm really feeling freaky, I'll do that.
Yeah.
It's not addictive like smoking, right? So like I can taper off of coffee and then just be okay without it. But cigarettes aren't like that. I tapered off years ago and I'm still like not. Every once in a while I'm like, God, I should go down to the store and get myself a vape pen. I mean, I don't, but it doesn't go away.
No.
It's like there with you. Like a bad ex.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. That's the thing. Don't ever start smoking because that one will stay in your headspace.
That one will stay with you until you're dead.
Yeah. Hey, that's an interesting thing. Your book really is another way to characterize your book. I didn't think of this till just now. It's about headspace.
Oh yeah.
It's about, it could be called that. That could be the title of it, Headspace, because almost every chapter has some tools. Well, it explains some sort of it explains your headspace and then gives you tools on how to navigate it, whether it's with the police, with your diet, with fucking scary things like rape, with just like all the different things. And then there's a character in your book named Sarah, and right? Is that her name? And you and her always, or you utilize a lot of books too to deal with headspace.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
There was
you're talking about like the lessons, right? The end of chapter stuff.
But yeah, no, just throughout, just even your conversations with there too. Right. Okay, for sure. There's a quote in there that stuck with me that I've already shared with like 5 people, and I just finished the book in the last 3 days. I don't know if it's Bernard Shaw or who it was, but it was basically like, if you can't change your mind, you can't change your life.
That's right, Bernard Shaw. It's true.
And there are so many people right now who need to be able to change their mind.
Agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
They yeah.
What that you brought that up, because we're going to talk about that.
Okay, tell me. Go. What is there? You want to dig in there? Do you want to say something about that before I say some other stuff too?
No, go ahead. I'll give you.
Okay. The 2 reasons why you're so if you go back to I don't even know what year this is.
Okay.
But if you go back to this year and you want to see when Athena and I first met, here it is right here. This is 2018, and this is the CrossFit Podcast. Yeah. And what had happened was, tell me how you ended up there. I have my version, but I want to know how you ended up there. How'd you end up at the CrossFit Podcast?
How I ended up on the podcast?
Yeah.
I got an invite.
Because I saw the video that you did with Mr. Kozlov.
That's right. The video came out, and I want to say that was in April. And then you saw the video. Well, you helped produce the video.
Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't know. I mean, Kozlov hit it. I watched it and I cried. I mean, Kozlov hit it out of the park. And even I think, I mean, maybe I'm making this up. We'd have to have him on. But I think even he came back from that and was like, kind of like, holy shit, I fucking hit this one out of the park. Me and this girl connected. I mean, I think even he was kind of like, couldn't believe what the gold mine he landed with that piece. What is that piece called? I should pull that piece up too. Everyone should see that piece.
First of all, Kaz is amazing.
Yes.
Like the guy is so amazingly talented. What had happened though, I think it was kind of a surprise to both of us how that actually transpired, because when we were sitting down at the table, having that conversation about just, kind of what had happened and the abuse and just some of the stuff that had happened, we got through that set. I don't know what you call it. I'm not a videographer, right? But we got through that set, and he's kind of got this shocked look on his face, and he goes, so I just recorded that whole thing. I didn't know. Right. I didn't know that the camera was on. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he looked at me and he was like, well, how do you feel about that? And I was like, I wasn't sure even if I was ready to, broadcast that out to the world, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. And so I think it turned out that real because I didn't know the camera was on.
How old were you when that happened? that video?
When the video was filmed?
Yeah.
Oh, 39.
39.
No, I was 40.
40. Is that the most? So in your book, you say when that video was made, and sorry guys for being so abstract, we will dig down. When that video was made, that was the first time in your life that you had been that open, right, with the world about it? I mean, people in your lives knew, or no, you had been that open before?
I think I'd always been open, but I certainly had never been around cameras before. Cameras of any kind. I mean, I didn't even like people taking pictures of me at all.
Right.
It's people always joke around like, Athena, why do you always use like the same before picture, when you're showing your progress? Because it's the only one I have. And,
right.
And damn it. Thinking back, I wish I would have taken a shitload of pictures, but I didn't. And so anyway,
have you learned to like yourself on camera?
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I mean, it's not a fear anymore. No, when I was on that podcast, like everybody's like, oh, you did so well. Like, if you really only knew how I felt at the time, like I was scared shitless.
It's a long podcast.
I looked like a paralyzed deer the entire time.
Not true. It's I just went and looked at it. I can't believe it. I wonder how many pee breaks I had to take. It was 2 hours and 45 minutes.
That was long. It was great.
If you haven't seen that, you have to see that. Since then you've published a book.
Yep.
I mean, you've done a ton of stuff, but the two main reasons I brought you here is because you published that book, Lifting the Weight, and you're about to launch the beta, or you have launched the beta of this seminar, right?
Yeah, the beta launches next Saturday.
Okay, so now we laid out a bunch of shit I want to talk about. I want to ask you this real quick. In the book, by the way, the book's all over the place. You have to read this. It's so fun. It is truly fun. At some points, there are some chapters that are so like heavy and intense. And I was thinking, same when I read Kayla Harrison's book. There's a book written by Kayla Harrison, the greatest female fighter alive right now. She won 2 gold medals in the Olympics, the only American ever to do that in judo. I think she's the only one ever to win 1. And she wrote a book about how she was molested from the age of 8 to 16 by her judo coach. And that's what the whole fucking book is about. And when I had her on the air, I said to her, hey, I don't know if I'm a better person for reading your book. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad I read it, but it rocked me. And it like maybe even made me paranoid. You know what I mean? Yeah. And because I have kids. This book is not like that. This book, there are some really heavy things, but there are some fun adventures too. Probably not fun for you, but there are some fun adventures too with the police and the FBI, and there's some great stories. Yeah. And you're not held underwater. By the way, I love Kayla's book. By the way, it's not a shot at it, but you're not held underwater in this book. So I want to talk about one of the fun things real quick. That case with the FBI. Mm-hmm. And you couldn't, is that the case you couldn't talk about, or was it the previous case with the police and the landlord that wouldn't give you your deposit back? Which one was it or is it both?
I couldn't talk about both of them. I mean, the time has expired now. It's been over 10 years. So what do they call that? The gag order?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's expired now. So.
And they both got squirrely. Especially the one. So basically, she lived in an apartment. She wanted to leave. She asked for her deposit back. They wouldn't give it back. She gave her landlord a certain time frame and said, "Hey, if you don't give me my money back, I'm going to come back and there'll be legal actions." Then she went away for a couple of weeks on vacation. When she came back, she was supposed to meet her landlord at the apartment. And while she was waiting there, the landlord called the police and got arrested for trespassing, and kind of like, and then basically said, "Yo, bitch, who gets the last laugh now?"
Yeah, right? that was the start of my criminal. That was the start of my criminal record.
So
it was the end of my criminal record too, by the way. And the reason that I got arrested for trespassing is because he processed an eviction on me while I was gone, and I didn't know.
And you were just sitting in the backyard. What a sneaky thing to do. And you're just sitting in the backyard, and he's like, "Hey, meet me at the house," and you're just waiting there.
Oh, and then, God. What a tool, right? So he made it sound like he called me up on the phone, and he made it sound like he wanted to like come to an agreement.
Right.
And so he's like, "Okay, meet me at the condo." And again, looking back, I'm like, why did I even go over there? But it didn't seem unusual for me. I lived there. So I was like, oh, let's meet in a, like a public place and we'll get together and we'll. So when I got over there, it was pouring down rain. So I was trying to get out from under the rain, and I knew that the back patio area had like a cover. And so I just went around the back to sit in the back. And
by then, all your furniture and everything was out of the place, right?
It was an empty place.
Yeah, empty place.
It was just
so what a joke. The cops couldn't just look and be like, so the cops were on the take.
Well, so in Texas, you don't have to have criminal intent to trespass.
But you could have just said, hey, officer, it's obvious I'm not like.
No, it was different. Like he knew exactly what he was doing because he processed an eviction on me while I was gone. Mm-hmm. The eviction stood as a trespass order. This is how it works in Texas. So if you show up back on a property after you have been trespassed, it's automatic. Now you have trespass with a little tag that says habit shelter, which means, according to the law, that you've been told to leave, you've been ordered to leave, and now you insist on coming back to the property. It's like a squatter.
Even though you're only there for a few minutes and you could be like, hey, look at the text messages. I'm just meeting him here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, crazy. And then what ended up happening from there was a cascade of things that made you think that that maybe the police were on the take, right? Or he was somehow affiliated with the police?
No, so that was the first one.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of what so in the book, when I was talking about it, it's like the first thing that happened that kind of got me in that mindset of, I need to fight the world, because things like that make you bitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the next situation was totally separate.
Okay. And that's when shit started getting weird, like the slash tires and stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Then I conflated the two. Okay. Yeah. What a great story.
Yeah.
Are you going to write a second book?
Yes. It's already almost done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy writing the first one or the second one better?
Definitely the second one. The first one was harder just because you have to go back through everything. And I was remembering stuff that I had forgotten about. And then, you can get to a point, like even in therapy, where you feel okay talking about it. But then at some point, you still feel it. So it was mentally exhausting to write that book. Mentally exhausting. The second one is just basically kind of a pickup of where I left off. And a lot of that just has to do with everything that's happened over the last couple of years. So that one was a lot more fun.
There's a theme in the book. I actually didn't think of it until just now about your weight. Nope, not correct. Your thoughts about yourself holding you back from completing things.
Yeah.
And the one that stands out the most is you had a T-shirt business, not specifically around skateboarding.
Skateboarding and snowboarding, yeah.
And and the business was taking off.
It did take off.
Yeah, it got your logo was being used in some movies. Your partner was young and invigorated. You were crazy invigorated. Yeah. It was obviously a passion project that had caught on fire. It's the kind of thing you were working on, obviously 100 hours a week, and it didn't even faze you.
Yeah, true.
It started requiring you to interact with people in person.
Oh shit, yeah. So we started getting invited to a lot of events. It just took off. I mean, it was just a cute little, I call it cute. Dennis would probably kill me if I said that. It was just a cute little brand, and it had a cool meme, this Yeti character. And yeah, we started getting invited to a lot of events. And I think the first one was like, it's a thing here in Minnesota called Soundset. And it's like all the bands kind of get together, and it's like a festival of all the cool kids, And don't use that word. I strongly disliked being there because I felt so out of place. One, because I was older. It wasn't because I was older. It was more like I just felt like I stuck out like a sore thumb. You have all these teens and early 20s, and then I was the fat older lady. That's how I felt at the time, And so I didn't want to be the face of our brand. I always kept pushing Dennis to the front because that was his thing,
And how old was he?
When we started the business, he was 17.
Okay.
And
did he skate?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So he was perfect. He was a perfect front man.
Yeah. 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 And that's why it made it so fun, is because I didn't have to be that person. But when I started to have to be that person, and then media started getting involved, and then we get this invitation to the Kids' Choice Awards. I was like, I can't go, looking like I can't. I literally thought I would single-handedly take down our brand, and I thought that it would hurt us.
And eventually those thoughts killed the brand, killed the project, right?
Destroyed us, yeah.
So just to be even more clear, there was some events that you needed to go to that basically you refused to go to because you weren't comfortable in your own skin. You didn't want other people to, you had a story spinning around that you didn't want to deal with, which was like, hey, people are going to basically make fun of me and laugh at me for being too big.
Correct.
And do you tell Dennis this? Or is he too young to know, or you don't have that relationship with him?
Oh, I mean, our Dennis is like he could be my brother. Like he's the closest thing in the world to me, even today. No, it's not. I did not have these conversations with him at the time. One, because I knew it would kill him, and two, I think at the time he was so young that I don't think he was going to understand like the big picture. Dennis didn't know about my past. He didn't know everything that I had gone through. So it was just too complicated of a conversation to have with him at the time.
I know we briefly chatted about it, and I told the story about going to Disneyland, and I just how shocked I was by what I saw, just by how big everyone was and how bad everyone was eating. But I guess the inverse of that is if you are that big and you go out in public, you have that same fear, because you know that there's people like me who are just like, holy shit.
Totally agree. I'm glad that you brought Disneyland up. We're going to cover that today.
You scared me the way you said that.
Oh, look.
Oh no.
I have notes.
No. Oh no. Disneyland.
I got notes too.
So that's one. And I want to point out one more. There was another event, even more specific, where it just wasn't your own thoughts, but it was people being vicious. You went to a pool.
Oh, yeah.
And the story starts off so good. I'm like, yeah, go girl. You get a bathing suit, you go to a pool, you go to a gym, you get in the pool, and some people fucking basically talk shit to you. Not basically, they do talk shit to you. Two groups of people. One group from afar and one group basically right to your face as you walk by.
Right.
And you get in the pool and you get stuck in the pool.
Yep.
Because
we say stuck, right? Because that wasn't.
Psychologically, you get stuck.
Psychologically stuck in the pool. Yeah.
You're brave enough to get in.
Yeah.
But while you're in the pool, because these people are being jerk offs.
Yeah.
A story spins up.
Right.
And it's like, hey, I don't want to get out and give them more opportunity to make fun of me again. So you stay in the pool for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Brutal.
And even after 30 minutes, you were like a prune, you say. So after 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours, you must have been like just waterlogged.
I was. I felt like it was awful.
Did you cry in there?
Not in the pool.
No.
I think I did a really good job growing up and kind of going through that first part of my life. not letting people see me cry when they would do that.
What if you would have swam over to those girls who are adjacent to you and just been like, hey, I'm going to get out of the pool. Can you guys not make fun of me? Oh, fuck.
Oh, shit. Can you imagine how that would have gone over? Because
I don't know. It would have rocked the shit out of them, I think.
You do something like that. Well, you take the risk. Either one of two things is going to happen, right? Either they're going to just leave,
right,
or it'll get worse.
Right.
So, you pick your poison, right? But
it's just fun doing stuff that's totally out of the norm narrative once in a while, which I know you know. You know what I mean?
I know now. Yeah.
Yeah. Just face it. Be like, hey, this might just be me, but could you not laugh at me when I get out of the pool? Oh, shit.
You know what, though? That brings up a bigger topic.
Yeah, go.
And I think it comes up in the book a lot because I think it happens so often for a lot of us is these stories we create. Because you and I both know that those two girls could have been in the hot tub over here talking about, they could have been talking about, something that happened over the weekend, or somebody said a good joke and they were, and they were laughing. But
right. You're taking a huge risk by suggesting something that might not be true.
Right. Yep. And that's what you do.
Yep.
So I always say vibes are a real thing. And vibes deceive us, but vibes are also our guide.
Right.
So things like that do happen, and you can pick up on it and you know what's happening. So I don't want to discredit that, but I think just as often we make it all up.
Yeah, I get a day that's the whole thing with relationships, right?
Yeah.
Someone reads into something you say and misunderstands you and then responds to it. When I look at the YouTube comments, 90% of the people are trapped in their head. They see something, they make an analysis of it, and then they respond to their own analysis. They're talking to themselves. It's how most humans live. It's why they can't get along. It's why they don't have happy relationships with their mates.
Do you ever feel that way?
No, because I can. Well, only.
You ever feel trapped in your head?
No.
Never.
There was a time in my life when I did. I think the road to that, unfortunately, it ends up being suicide. Not suicide like you actually kill yourself, but I think it ends up being when you're in that journey and you're trapped in your head and the voices in it and the conversations get so loud, eventually you have to start contemplating your own death. I think that's where that road leads. I could be wrong.
Well, no. I think being trapped in your head can be much more simplistic. Like, simply like, digging your heels in the ground and not wanting to change your mind. That's being trapped in your own head.
Oh, back to Bernard Shaw. If you can't change your mind,
you're not going to change your life.
Yeah. When I'm by myself, I'm much more soft in my thoughts.
I know.
I'm much more supple. I'm willing to explore so much when I'm in my own thoughts.
Why do you think that is?
Well, you're just you. You can be, well, at least for me, maybe not for some people who are even scared of themselves, but for me, I can just be vulnerable to myself. Whereas with other people, and that's kind of what makes the podcast so fun too, because you're actually doing it in front of other people.
Well, here's what's really interesting.
Yeah, go.
About that is you are much different right now than, say, when one of the
what how do you know I'm not? How do you know I'm not?
I sent him an invoice before the show, buddy. You are much different right now than you are with, say, when Matt is here.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's the energy I'm talking about.
Right.
Whatever's strongest is going to propel forward, and then everybody jumps on board, whatever that energy is.
Right.
And you do it.
You mean I turn the energy up and lead the not the cavalry, what are the guys who like go to people's house?
Your energy goes on your podcast depending on the crowd.
Right. Well, also what I'm interested in. So like in the last 3 days, I just sucked down your book.
I'm glad you finally read it, by the way. You've had it for like year and a half now.
Yeah. Well, I did. To be honest, I didn't read it. I listened to it. God, you read good.
Really, thank you. That was my first attempt, and I was just listening to some of the things last night, and I'm like, ugh.
God, you read good. You know what doesn't translate well in the book are the lessons at the end of the chapters. Like, to be honest with you, I didn't figure that out until like the last 3 chapters, what was going on there. I was like, what is this stuff at the end every time? But I'm kind of there's parts of me that are kind of like a rock. Okay, tell me about Disneyland. Well, tell me about
Disneyland.
I did a whole show on it. Tell me about
I remember.
Tell me about Disneyland. Was I? Do you think I was mean? I was uncouth. I was.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think when it comes to topics like this, that you lack a little self-awareness, man.
Okay.
And let me tell you why. I believe at the heart that we both want the same things.
Okay.
We absolutely want everybody into CrossFit so that we can get healthy. That's the goal.
Right.
So our goals are the same.
Right. With the individual, but with the impact on the planet.
Right.
Right.
But you take a drastic approach.
Okay.
And to me, it comes across as that approach is very, and I'm not going to say that you do it on purpose. It just comes across as being very, in a very shaming way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And
like if you eat sugar, you're a piece of shit.
Pretty much. Thank you. That's a great example. If you eat sugar, you're a piece of shit.
All right.
This method is not going to get people to stop drinking sugar. Like, how does
can you give me an example? Was there something I said on that show that you wrote down that you're like, wow, I can't believe my friend said this? I mean, just so you know, just an example of that is I had a friend come over to my house a couple weeks ago. It fucking rocked me. And they're a really good friend. And they said, hey, you said on your show that any parent who puts a mask on their kid's a piece of shit. And we put a mask on our kid. I was like, oh, fuck. Well, and I love these people, and I don't think they're pieces of shit.
I know. Okay, let's go through I'll revisit that because I know why you do that. At least I think I do.
Okay, good.
So
Caleb changed the name of the show to Therapy with Athena. Forget about the Athena Perez, founder of Scaled Nation. That's a silly title. Go on.
Mm-hmm. It was a really silly title. Okay. So you start off. Is Caleb?
No one's here. It's just us.
Oh, I was like, is he powering this? Because the visuals would be great.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you start the podcast, right?
God, I'm glad he's not here. Go on.
You start the podcast.
Yes.
Matt Sousa's over here. You're right over here. And the very first thing that happens on that podcast is this picture that pops up on the screen, and it's a larger woman. First of all, where did you guys get that picture?
I don't remember it. Was it one I took at Disney?
You just took a picture of a random larger woman and you posted it on your podcast.
Oh, I thought we couldn't pull up any of those pictures. Basically, when I was there to sort of, I made it the first hour I was there, I was just taking pictures of just people. Just like, I just couldn't fucking believe, like.
You were just taking pictures of random heavy people.
Not random. Like I would have there'd be there was a whole, like it would be just stuff that I thought was like just stereotypical. You know what I mean? Like the man, like the family with the, like a family with like all the daughters had blue hair and were sitting around eating ice cream. And I just started just like spinning narratives about them.
Uh-huh.
Like those assholes in the pool.
So
okay, go on.
You were creating creating stories.
Yes.
And it's really good that I have this because check this out. Are you ready? So go. So this lady comes up.
Oh, here we go.
Holy cow! I might have some options too.
Yes.
So who was that? Just some random person?
Just some random lady. Just totally random.
Okay, so that's how it starts. You don't know who this woman is.
No, ma'am.
You don't know anything about her.
Right.
You don't know her story. You don't know her struggle. You don't know why she's heavy. You don't know shit about her. But there she is.
Yep.
The meme of this Disney show.
The meme. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like she's the opener. She's like,
I'm basically saying, hey, Disneyland is a place where people are just going and just chugging sugar, and this is the prototypical looking person who I'm sharing the park with. Yes.
You say Disneyland,
right?
But this has been a theme across since you've been doing the podcast. This is when it comes to heavier people. Period. It doesn't matter whether it's at Disneyland or whether it's down at the dock. You know what I mean?
Fair, right.
For you.
Right.
So let's take the fact that it happened at Disneyland.
Since I've been a little kid, actually, you want to know the truth? Since I've been a little kid, it's been like.
Sevan, were you ever heavy as a kid?
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I thought I was heavy. Like if I want to tell you, I was a fucking chubby fat kid. But like, if you saw pictures of me, you might not think that. Do you know what I mean?
Were you teased because you were a bigger kid?
No. And there's something in your book. There's something in your book about that too. You say in your book, I've said worse stuff in my head about myself than anyone has ever said in their life. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah. That's exactly how I am. I have some stories in there that are I just assume that no one likes me.
We all assume that, by the way.
Yeah. Not in a bad. I never assume someone does like me. The best I get is like, oh, I'm not tripping right now.
Mm-hmm. So you never got teased when you were young?
I got teased. Yeah, I got teased. I was short. I started getting teased. Not so much about being short. My big nose. I was in junior high, played Dungeons and Dragons and shit. Like I felt like I got teased. I got picked on. I got teased. I didn't realize I was short, but I was an easy target, or that I was little until I got to college, and all the girls were like a foot taller than me. But I got I realized in hindsight I was an easy target because I was little. So I scrapping and fighting and being teased. It was just normal for me.
To some degree, I think that getting teased when you're a kid is normal for everybody.
But nothing harsh. Nothing I ever went home and cried. I was never like, I could go 30 days in high school, people making fun of my nose in a row, but I never went home and cried about it. When I left school, it was over.
Was it?
Yeah.
You talk about it today.
Well, you know what I mean by over. Like I don't dwell on it. And like now today, it's just a tool.
That's not what I mean. So it's kind of like, I'm not saying that you have to go home and cry over it or dwell on it, but it had to have pricked some part of your finger. In Sevan's defense, I remember that Disneyland podcast at Disneyland is.
Yeah, Athena.
Yeah.
What about that? What about that, huh?
I totally agree with that, but that's not what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Shut it, Susie.
We're not talking about Disneyland. Okay. So
just give it to me. Tell me what a piece of shit
I am. No. So what I'm saying is some part of your finger got pricked. It left a mark. It left an impression because that's what you project. It clearly fucking bothered you. It hurt you, whether you admit it or not, or whether you cried about it or not.
Right. It hurt.
Recurring theme. The fact that you were short, got picked on a lot. You even talk about it a lot.
Right.
Girls didn't want you. I'm sorry, but when you're young, that's hurtful.
Yeah.
Very hurtful when you're a teenager or whatever, right? Everybody's dating. Sevan never got picked.
Right.
To have a girlfriend.
Right.
I'm sorry, dude, but it leaves a mark. It does.
Yeah.
Because that's what you project.
What do you mean by that? That's what you project?
I think it shows up. I think it shows up a lot for you. That's what I think.
Like that story.
Maybe not the story, but I believe that
my personality filters through that.
Yeah, like it does for all of us.
Right.
That your personality filtered through those things. My personality filtered from my experiences, getting teased or whatever. And yes, you can deal with them as you get older, and but it's still a part of who you are, and it does come out. The reason why I want to talk about this is because, and And I was curious as to whether you were ever teased as a kid, because the way that you talk about heavy people, I listened to that podcast 3 times yesterday. And
Oh shit.
when you're talking
I
about,
wish you wouldn't have done that.
well, yeah, I have PTSD now.
Oh, too late.
So you talk about it in a very like angry way.
Yeah.
What are you angry about? Are you
Well,
how does that happen? Are you so angry at heavy people? Are you angry about the situation? I'm trying to figure out how that anger transports to somehow inspiring people to make healthy choices. If you're going to project anger and say, ugh, the world needs to get healthy, and then you're saying, I just don't understand why we can't inspire more people to lose weight. It's because of stuff like the show. How does that work?
wait, explain to me. I want to answer your first question first, but I want you to get that point out. How does the show not help?
What I'm saying is,
So I can fix that.
this show is a great example, because what I'm trying to figure out is what if I was a heavy person, I'm coming to your show, and you say you want to play your part in fixing the world, right? If somebody that you didn't know was heavy came and listened to that show, what would that heavier person taken away from your show that was going to inspire them to go in and join a CrossFit gym?
Right.
Can you think of anything in that show that happened that would have inspired somebody to take action in an inspiring way, empowering way?
No, but I can't. But I also can't think of anything that wouldn't. Was there some shit that I said that would drive them away?
Fuck yeah.
Tell me.
Okay, so let's start off with the picture.
And then I want to answer to you that question. I want to go back and answer. You said, "Are you angry?" I want to tell you what my process is. But go on. So what did I say that would push people away?
Well, one, you said after looking at all these heavier people, you have PTSD.
I used those words.
Yeah, shocking.
Oh, okay.
And then you said,
And why does that push people away? If I say I saw all these heavier people and I
basically you're implying when you said I'm seeing all these heavy people and now I have PTSD, that this is literally like, I think you actually said it in the show, that it was literally like one of the worst days of your life to see all these heavier people.
Right. So I totally see what you're saying, and I think you're probably correct about how it comes across. It's not about those people; it's about the implications of those people. But I'll circle back around to that in a second.
But those people that you're talking about they're the ones that are suffering from a much bigger problem. But the bigger problem, right?
As an individual, they are, but as a collective, they're not.
But they're not there as a collective,
right? I hear you.
They're not all getting together to dance in front of Sevan and be like, Look at us.
Right.
What's happening?
Right.
Okay. So then you said,
that was good, by the way. That might be able to be a reel.
Yeah. There's all these 400-pound people there wearing Mickey Mouse hats. They've never worked out a day in their life. Really?
Yeah, I don't know that, right?
Do you?
No, I don't.
Was that your story?
Yes, it was definitely my story.
His shirt was a quadruple X tied around his gut. In the background, Matt's over here laughing his ass off. Like, what is funny about that?
Yeah, fuck you, Matt. Sorry.
What I'm trying to say is you guys are laughing through this entire show.
Yes.
And how does that...
Wait. Am I angry, Athena, or am I laughing? Which one?
Well, there's parts that you're laughing. There's parts that you're just straight up pissed.
Okay.
We'll get to the anger part later.
Okay.
But so what I'm saying is, if somebody comes onto your show, you are part of the CrossFit community, right? You are passionate about people getting into CrossFit. You talk about it on every episode. We want it to change lives. What I'm asking you is, how are you doing that?
Right.
How are you doing that?
Like me personally.
You personally. Or your tribe, right? Your tribe are the people on your show.
Right. How is my tribe?
Matt laughing his ass off every single time that a heavier picture gets posted. How are you inspiring people to take action if you're mocking them? You know what I mean?
We're not going to get to any of my notes today, I can tell.
Probably not.
How
How are we inspiring?
This is a rhetorical question too, right? These are rhetorical questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not like, I'm not saying that this is, I'm just asking you to be objective in your own stuff, man.
Yeah. I'm open. I'm fucking, yeah. Like Christine Y says, look at Christine Y doesn't even look like a real person. I'm here for this. I'm here for this. Let's fucking do this. Okay. I'm now taking notes on your feedback. Okay, guys.
Good.
Caleb, change the name of the show again. Feedback on the Disneyland show by Athena Perez.
So I'm asking you. Here's more. Ready?
Because can I just say this? So I go there and I think of all the complaints that the world has.
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry.
Okay.
My favorite. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes. Fuck. Probably not.
This group of people can't possibly think straight.
Yes, I remember saying that.
You're looking at one of them right now.
Right.
Am I not thinking straight?
No, you are thinking straight.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to take this stuff personal. I'm not going to come at you and be like, oh, I'm sad. What I'm saying is
too late.
It's not matching your goals. It's not matching your goals.
Athena,
what?
If I think that if you eat, if you're a 5-year-old kid,
okay,
and you're starting to be fed fucking Twinkies and ding dongs, and Coca-Cola, and you live that life until you're 30, that you will have a fucking hormonal imbalance.
Yes.
That will fucking make it so you don't think straight. You'll think in a brain fog. And I also think this. I think as people become more capable, they start to be able to take on more personal accountability and more personal responsibility. You found that. I from reading your book.
Yeah.
I hate to use your book against you. By finding God, you found ultimate empowerment because you found God. Other people, schmoes like me, find it through CrossFit and be like, oh, I can jump over a fence. Oh, I can do a muscle. My value starts going up that way. And then you also find it through CrossFit. All of a sudden you're like, okay, I can go upstairs to my bedroom. Okay, I can do this. Oh, there is a group of people. So what I'm saying but going back to the diet thing, I think that if you have a shitty diet, I do think that it affects the way you think. And I think that people who are immobilized by their diet or by somehow in their lifestyle, that there's a fear that creeps in that makes it so that they don't think straight about how the planet functions, how the planet functions. Do you hear me on that or no? You're not, am I not connecting that dot for you?
No.
Okay. I think
watching too much news and shit can affect your brain.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like we was talking about Twinkies. I mean, if you watch too much news and post too much shit on, you know, the daily world and stuff happening, it can affect your brain.
You don't think that you think clearer as you get healthier, as you eat cleaner, as you start? You don't think that there's a?
Oh, I definitely do. I mean, does diet play a role in just how we feel? Oh, yeah, 100%. But you just said something. Let's go back to that because you said they get fed the Twinkies and sodas and all this stuff when they're 5.
Right.
Right. So is it that person that creates that path for them? Who created the path? Who set that person up from the very beginning?
Their parents. But why is that relevant?
Well, it is relevant because that's the world that they're introduced to. These are
right.
This is the world that they know.
Right.
So they don't know any better. These are the foods and the culture and the environment that they grow up in. They get older, right? But we're gonna look at them and say, oh, you're unmotivated, you're just a glutton, you know, all the words that people use, fat, fuck, whatever it is. But we're saying that was somehow their fault.
That becomes irrelevant, and you also realize that in your book, right?
Not irrelevant because it plays a factor. At some point, yes, we become responsible.
Right.
We become responsible and we are responsible for our own stuff. What I'm saying is that we put that burden on that person. Yes, they're responsible for fixing it. But let's be honest, like they were never set up to succeed from the beginning. Cut them some damn slack.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't know what you don't know. It's like I was just talking to somebody the other day about this, this woman, she grew up in the South. They, it's part of your family. It's part of your culture. I mean, meal times, making sure that your plate is cleared. I mean, all of these things matter.
Right.
It creates who you are.
Right.
Shit. I don't even think I broke that until like I was in my mid-30s.
Well, but you did, but you did break it. And it's the miracle morning. Never blame, full accountability.
I don't. Yes, you're right.
And so why are you now? Why are you now? It's like someone said in the comments, this is the best example I can think of. I apologize. Someone said in the comments, when I asked Stacey Tovar, she was feeling uncomfortable when I asked her about her menses or what birth control she was on. Mm-hmm. If you ask her today, she'll say that was fucking an amazing moment. Like, why should I avoid making people feel uncomfortable if that is the path to their miracle morning? Never blaming, full accountability.
I'm not saying don't make people uncomfortable. I'm saying do it respectfully.
Okay, fair. The laughing and the pictures and the. All right, there's definitely. I'm not in denial. There's a component of a temper tantrum on there. Sure.
You have an incredible platform,
right?
An incredible opportunity to inspire the people that you say you want to help the most.
Right.
And are you doing it in a way that's going to get them in the box, the gym?
No, I could do better. Yes. I can do better.
Okay. I
can do better.
I think you can.
I can do better.
Okay, I'll let you have your notes now.
Oh man, I love you.
Thank you, man.
I can do better. Well, thank you.
Look, all I'm saying is the way that you are doing this, man. I'm sorry. Like, I love you too, but it's not the way.
Honesty and directness is okay, but how do you do it honoring someone else's humanity?
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the Athena podcast. Oh, Susie, but eat it. When is your first seminar?
Next Saturday. Okay, so let me set the ground rules, because really the betas are really just to test the content. Like, we're not going to have the PowerPoints are going to be pretty rudimentary. It'll be kind of a work in progress, because we don't want to go through all the hassle of doing all the fancy shit when so many of those sections could change. And admittedly, I'm going into this not knowing what I'm doing. I don't know how to put on a seminar.
Right.
But I'm learning.
Hey, when I went to Greg Glassman's first seminar, I mean, it's not that there wasn't an outline, but he just did he just did the whole thing himself. He just stood up there and did it. And sometimes he would wander off this way and wander off this way, and there'd be like some staff maybe who like got him back on point. But yeah, it was a 3-day event of him just talking. It was incredible.
Yeah.
And then it just got, over the years, it just got more and more structured. Dave and Nicole put it into more and more cubbies. By the way, after I had you on that podcast, that CrossFit podcast, Nicole Carroll reached out to me and asked me for your contact information. She goes, "That's the kind of people we want on the L1 seminar staff." I was like, holy shit. That's a crazy compliment.
It's funny that you say that.
Why is that?
I heard this.
Are you like, maybe I shouldn't? Are you like, maybe I shouldn't go here?
No, I think that yeah.
And she's a wonderful judge of character for that too. Obviously, for that, her and Dave were wonderful at picking people for that. Like, she wouldn't just say that for any reason unless she felt it. At least if she meant it. You know what I mean? There was no.
You know what? Everybody has CrossFit superheroes.
Right.
People always ask me, like, who are your favorite females? And the people that come to mind for me are not like, Sarah or who did you have on yesterday?
I don't fucking know.
Come on.
It's one giant fucking.
Our Icelandic queen.
Oh, yeah, Annie, Miss Thor's daughter.
Athena, don't judge people by their looks. Also, Athena, the guy's knees are hot. Oh, okay.
I don't even know what that means, but I just like he gave me $5.
Write that down in your notes. Hold on, I'm gonna write it in mine. Okay, so he's addressing the knee thing, but hold on, let me.
Okay.
Damn it, Bobby.
Go ahead and write it down, and then let's talk about your superheroes. Go back to Annie Thor's daughter.
Annie.
Hey, we're gonna have to have a part 2 to this podcast. I can tell. We only have 30 minutes left. We're never gonna get this shit. But go on.
Okay. So
But your superheroes, Nicole.
She really is like, she's my I have so much respect for her. You know, I think of the educators, you know, Karen and some of the seminar staff, Nicole, you know, like the teachers.
Nicole could be on the cover of Time magazine as like Woman of the Year. It's fucking nuts.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bobby's talking about the knees. Okay. So what they're talking about is the community sends me pictures of knees from all the guy athletes. So if there's a picture that's got really nice looking knees that day, then they send it to me and I share it on my stories. So how that started.
That probably makes my wife feel horrible, by the way, because she had surgery on her knee, and one of her knees she's like really like insecure about the way it looks. You guys are fucking mean. Sorry, go on.
What'd they say?
No one, nothing. I'm just being a pussy. Go
on. So it's it's all that muscle group around the knee. And I think
oh yeah.
I have some weird, I don't know how it started, but I have some weird,
yeah, you like it. Like Sam Dancer probably has amazing knees, right?
Easily, yeah. So I have this weird, everybody's got weird body parts that they like, you know, like some people are attracted to somebody's eyes, some people's attracted, whatever.
Yeah, girls' armpits, CrossFit girls' armpits are amazing. Yeah. Where the arm and the armpit, I've never even thought of an armpit as attractive, but the way it's highlighted by like their lat and their arm, it's like, oh, that's a nice armpit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Eric. Yes.
So what Bobby's talking about, yeah, I like that one. So what Bobby's talking about is this knee group, this muscle knee group. And my eyes, when I'm looking at a guy, it always starts here, but then it always goes down to his knees. And I don't know why, but I think that came from, I grew up with very, screwed up knees. I had Blount's disease that they corrected a couple years ago with the double knee replacements.
Did that work?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Congratulations.
Thanks. My leg isn't crooked anymore.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's nuts.
That
worked.
That was a long recovery.
Was there any part of you that thought you would never walk again? Like a bad acid trip, like after the surgery, like I'm never going to get better.
Well, yeah, because after the surgery, I wasn't able to pick up my leg. And after they tell you it takes a couple weeks, but after 6 weeks, it still wasn't firing. And we went to the doctor and the doctor said, look, Athena, this was one of the risks and you knew that. And I lost it because I thought that was it. It's not going to fire on its own and I'll have to walk with a stick.
Like the nerve was damaged in the surgery.
Yeah. But
it came back.
Oh, it took almost 3 months, but yeah, it came back.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was a scare there for a while, but I accepted my fate,
I'm writing Matt a note here to reschedule our project for our next podcast for 2026 after I heal from the therapy from this one. Okay. So back to the semanar.
Maybe Matt could use a session.
Oh no! Leave Matt alone. He's just leave Matt alone. I pay him to laugh. He knows if he doesn't laugh at my shit, he's fucking off the show. He's the poor guy.
He's fine.
So this tell me what this seminar is. What the inspiration for it is. I really just want to dig in. I want people to leave here knowing that not only am I a callous asshole that shames people, but that we're launching our first seminar, Working with Large Bodies, is a full day in-person seminar that will cover not only how to physically train and progress athletes through movements commonly seen in CrossFit and other types of functional fitness training, but also how to educate and empower trainers and gym owners to make their gyms welcoming and compatible environment for larger bodies. By the way, when I do see you're in the comments, I kind of check myself too.
Why is that?
Like if I'm watching a podcast, because like I don't want to, because I just don't want to be offensive. Like I tone my shit down a little bit around larger bodies. Like if I see you're on the, like I might be like, if I saw your name on there, I would immediately like, I won't be like those fat people. I'll be like, oh, I was at the mall the other day with some larger bodied folks. You know what I mean? It's good. It's healthy for me.
So you're saying I'm a good influence?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I try to be.
Yeah, you are a good influence on me.
You know what? Like
you're doing God's work in Satan's kitchen. I appreciate it.
That's what I'm trying to do. Satan's kitchen.
Thank you, Susie. Susie's Sevan Stiggs. Yes, Marionette is what we prefer.
Marionette.
I don't like to put my hand up anyone's ass. I prefer to move them from the top. Okay, our first. What is does that sum it up? Can I hear it in your own words? What is this seminar? The Scaled Nation Training, working with larger body seminar.
That's what it really is. It's just, we consider it more of a coaching development course where we're really kind of talking about, working with larger bodies is a little bit different. One, just because of what that person is bringing into the gym, which is a little different in a lot of cases. And then teaching that coach, the level 1 seminar is great. The level 2 is great. But it doesn't teach you how to be a coach, unfortunately. And on top of that, it teaches you the 9 CrossFit functional movements, but it certainly doesn't teach you everything we do in CrossFit. It's very limited. And you know as well as I do that, your typical WOD is not just the 9 foundational movements. You're doing all kinds of shit in a box. And that's where coaches need the most help. It's on everything else. Can you
give me an example?
Yeah, like, how to, it's not a scaling course at all. What we're trying to get coaches to do is step back from the movements and try to strip them down to the most fundamental, basic you can possibly think. Take it back to ground zero, and then learn how to look at every movement and build somebody forward. Like there's nothing more than I can't stand. We're always scaling backwards, and it's really defeating for most people. Instead of scaling them forward, we're constantly scaling people backward, and it's just the wrong approach.
I don't tell me what's the difference. Give me examples of that.
Okay, so somebody that's larger bodied walks into a gym, and it's their first day there. The coach, in the coach's mind, because the coach has never had to live in a larger body, right? They make a lot of assumptions too. And one of the assumptions that they make is, oh, well, the WOD calls for a 20-inch box. 12-inch box should be super fucking easy. They pull the 12-inch box out. And guess what happens? That athlete isn't prepared for the 12-inch box. So the coach is like, oh, shit. So all this is happening live on the floor. Oh, shit. Oh, you can't do that? Okay. So what does he do? He grabs the 12-inch box, he pushes it to the wall, and then they bring something smaller out. Why are we doing that? That's scaling backwards.
And the solution is, you mean to know that ahead of, like, pull that person aside, recognize, okay, that person is maybe 100 pounds over their weight and that they shouldn't be jumping, period? Or like, I'm not following what you're saying.
Like, so if you, coaches are not going to get in that position if they just start people at the building blocks. This coach has never seen this person before. So The best assumption to make is they can't do it at all. Always make that assumption.
Right.
So what would be the first place to start somebody out if box jumps or box step-ups is in the workout?
Right.
We all know the answer to that, but that's how far back you need to take somebody. And then and if they get the, say it really is just a step forward and then a step back, right? You're going to be able to give that person a win on the very first visit. So guess what happens? You're like, oh man, that's great. I can see that you have balance. You've got good stability. I'm going to pull out, say you're going to pull out a little plate, and it doesn't even have to be that big. It could be a 10-pound plate. So then you pull out the 10-pound plate and you have them step up to that. And then if you can see that they're handling that well, great. They just got another win. Yay, yay, yay. So when they go home that day, you've never met them. You've given them a bunch of wins. And then that person is sitting home at night and they're like, oh shit, guess what I did today? You know, it's not, that's the experience that they're going to have. Not, hey, I'm going to walk into a gym. The coach had to bring out 3 different fucking boxes and I couldn't do any one of them and I'm never going back.
The big picture there is make sure you're setting people up who come into the gym new. It sounds like this is applicable to any human being.
It really is.
Give them wins. It's interesting you say that. I heard you talk in your book. You talk about getting on the floor. Or no, I'm going to paraphrase, but basically you ask the instructor, hey, I want to learn a burpee. And they say, okay. And they say, get on the floor. And then you stop them and you're basically like, that's the part I'm worried about. They're like, what do you mean? They're like, I don't know how to get up.
Yeah.
And I remember in 2017 or 18, an affiliate owner, I know probably one of the top 10 biggest affiliates in the world, definitely one of the most successful in the world, told me, holy shit, all of this work you guys are doing in media now, showing larger bodied people doing CrossFit. We had someone come in the other day who was 100 pounds overweight, and we got them in the prone position and they were stuck. And this is a world-class coach, games athlete of the highest fucking level, said, I didn't fucking know how to coach someone to fucking stand up.
Thank you.
And he said, and he was so embarrassed. He was like, how the fuck do I not know that? And so one of his other coaches knew. They came over, they coached him up. But you're saying that this is what this working with larger body scaled nation seminar will teach you. Like, hey, those are the things you have to be prepared for.
These are so common.
Yeah.
And you know what? This course actually stemmed. I'm sorry, but we're going to talk about it. This
from my Disneyland episode.
No, I'm done with this. I beat you over the head.
I was like, I inspired you. Wow, the Disneyland episode was good.
No, it was not.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Okay, so the course came from my level 2 seminar. I mean, yes, I've been thinking about it for a while, but I think the level 2 seminar was the cherry on the cake. And you are getting world-class educators. And what I'm saying is that none of us have so much education that we cannot learn more. So what happened was, the knees are still pretty sensitive. You know, I can't get on my knees because of the cut lines. So I'm in the middle of this level 2 seminar, and we were just on.
When was this?
A year ago.
Okay, so you had your surgery, and then a year later you went to go take your level 2.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Go on.
Yeah. So it started out with like the warm-ups, and unfortunately there was nothing prepared for warm-ups, but it's so fundamental. We forget sometimes that we have to be prepared for everything. And there was this really awkward freeze where I'm standing there, everybody's on the ground, and it was very clear that the coach, nothing against the coach, he's freaking incredible. But what I'm saying is there was a pause because what do I do? But if we had just thought about the warm-up the same way that we think about a workout, what are we doing in it? What's the point of it? That there could have been a scale ready. We have to scale not just workouts, but warm-ups too. So it was just one example. Like,
how should that be done? The coach should come over to each person, like just do a quick, hey, do you need anything scaled? Do you need anything scaled? Do you need no? You have to
offer options in the warm-up activities the same way.
Okay. Just to the group in general.
Because a lot of
so like so you're saying if you said, okay, everyone, we're going to do 10 burpees before we start, I'm going to show you 3 different burpees, and one you just show someone like lean against the wall and push themselves up.
Exactly. You need to show that first option as the most fundamental ground zero.
Yeah.
Always offer ground zero on everything.
Yeah.
Right? And then
always
show the rest of them and allow those people to choose. But we need to do it with everything. Warm up, stretching, all those is really complicated for large body because you can't get into those positions. Pigeon pose is one of the toughest things to get into for a larger body because, man, you're going to have trouble everywhere. But it's just understanding that it's not that these people don't want to get healthy. It's not that they don't want to be there. But if they get put in these situations, you're unprepared as a coach. they're never coming back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to see what pigeon pose is.
Oh,
I see it.
I can never do them. Still can't.
It looks like it's bad for my back. Everything's fucking bad for my
See,
back. It's that one. It's this one where you like. Is it that one?
Yeah. Like, okay. So what I want you to do is like, okay. Oh, it's a GIF. See, you see where she's got her belly on her leg right there.
Yeah.
Imagine if you are front. If you got a belly like me in the front, how are you going to do that movement?
Right.
How? You can't physically. Now, there are some LBA that are incredibly flexible.
Oh, LBA. Wow, I never heard that before. I like that. Okay.
Oh, thanks. Larger bodied athletes. Yeah, I think he would too, Travis.
That's what was going on downstairs, by the way, at CrossFit HQ when I left there. Well, it was a program that Greg wanted to start down there. It was only for old people and larger bodied athletes. That's all it was for. Like, you had to be fucked up to go to work out there. And that's where I saw Michelle Moots and Wes Pyatt and those guys teach, and Jenny Loud. They taught people, like, that's one of the first time I'd seen a burpee where you just lean against the wall and push yourself up.
Yeah.
And we had those stories that you tell in your book too, where like people would be in their car and they wouldn't come out. They'd come to the gym and they would just be out there. Yeah. And then one of the trainers would be like, hey, you got to walk in. They'd be like, no. They're like, no, you got to. They'd open the door and like walk them in the gym. They're like, now what? They're like, you just sit down and then I'll walk you back to your car. That's day one. And you come back tomorrow. It was cool as shit.
Right.
So cool.
Tiny. Well, and this is the overwhelming theme of the level 2, right? Is really focusing on giving that person micro wins. Don't make those steps too high.
Not the level 2, the Scaled Nation seminar. You said
seminar 2, yeah. Seminar, yeah. Ours is just essentially a reminder of the education that we've already got. It's essentially how to apply it to this demographic and do it well. And you know what? I don't even think 8 hours is enough, to be honest with you. I'm still struggling even right now. We're a week away, and I'm like, it'll be interesting to see what we can fit in 8 hours. And the course may evolve very quickly. I could see it turning into a 2-day seminar very easily.
Have you ever been to a CrossFit gym where you met a coach and you were just like, holy shit, this person's like off the chart?
Good or bad?
Good.
Oh yeah. Incredible. I've met some incredible coaches.
So there are people who are thoughtful enough from just taking what's out there.
No, I don't think there's anything out there that's going to teach somebody how to have a little more empathy. There's no CrossFit training that talks about empathy, which is what you really need to have. You're either going to be a good human or you're going to be a shitty human.
But it's more than empathy too, isn't it? It's
being intuitive. It's having empathy. It's understanding the body, just
understanding the body movement, right?
Movement. It's all of it.
Like, it would be obvious if you saw a guy come in with one leg and there were 400-meter sprints in the workout, to walk over to him and be like, hey dude, it is his first day. Be like, hey, we're going to have you on the rower if you don't want to run or something. Right.
You know what? You just said something really interesting. You said it should be obvious. Right. To me, as a larger body person and only knowing this life, I had to stop thinking like that too. There's nothing obvious about anything, because, and this is what we talk about in the course, to an athlete or a coach, right, that has never struggled, that's never been in a larger body, has never been able to understand those challenges. To them, they're like, oh, well, somebody should be able to just do a sit-up. It's the most fundamental movement there is. It should be easy, right? We hear easy a lot. I'm going to give you an easier option. Well, there's nothing easy about it. So when you say like, it should be obvious, no, we can't even use those words. They don't know what they don't know. It's not their fault.
Run, Forrest, run.
Yeah. They're responsible once they are aware, hey, these are the challenges. These are what we want coaches to understand. Once they have awareness, then yes. But we can't fault any coach for not understanding or not connecting the dots that they just can't comprehend. And it's not their fault.
Yeah, and just go to the larger body seminar that Scaled Nation does.
Exactly.
Get on fuck. We only have 10 minutes. I got to ask you something. What was your favorite part about the book to write? Because I have a million. Is there one part when you think of that book, you're like, oh, that was fun writing that part?
Oh, wow.
And then I'll dig in there.
Okay. Are you hoping I say something?
No. I'm kind of fascinated by what it would be, though. I'm like wondering, is it going to be? There was definitely some cathartic shit in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had to deal with some crazy shit, like
Yeah.
that dude who drove you to the end of that dirt road. That's some gnarly shit.
Yeah.
By the way, you go into some really intense detail throughout the book, which is nice. I appreciated that. The details are like so important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to fill in other people's shit for them. But there's stuff like that. But then there's did you enjoy writing the highs or the lows the most?
Hold on, stop.
Yeah.
He said, I don't like to fill in shit about people.
Yeah.
Okay, hold that thought.
Okay. Uh-oh. Back to Disneyland?
Hold on. I'm just you do this all the time, man. You gotta stop doing it. This
right,
group of people can't possibly think straight. They never worked out a day in their life.
Yeah.
You just said, I don't like to fill in shit about people. You do it all the time.
Oh, I trust me. That's fine. I do a lot of things I don't like to do all the
You look
time.
at somebody and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, this person is like, they must have been here. They must have been here. They did this. They did this. Like, how does that happen so fast for you?
I don't want to pick my nose, and I'm just a chronic picker. There's a whole list of. I hear you.
Okay.
Guilty.
Okay. What's my favorite part? Actually, I think my favorite part of the book was writing about how I found CrossFit. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional. Finding this community, finding this life is, it was a game changer, and it still is evolving for me. It continues to be a struggle for a lot of reasons, but damn it, I'm in there doing it.
Hey, that was my favorite part of the book too. And that's the part of the book I was thinking about this morning that I kind of wanted to start the show with. You walked in there.
Yeah.
And people were fucking nice to you.
Yeah.
I don't want to take anything away from your gym, but I know why they were nice to you. They were nice to you because that was the culture set at the very first gym in CrossFit Santa Cruz. If you ever met Greg Glassman for the first time, he walks over and fucking hugs you. And that's what the L1 sets that culture. When you take your L1 on the first day, everyone's awkward and just kind of like looking around. Oh, that guy must have the fastest Fran time. And by the end, you guys are all buddies.
I would say that the level 1 is like that. I felt so taken care of at my level 1. It was the best day of my life.
Yeah.
But I will say that culture does not carry over to every single gym.
I agree.
I walked just as many boxes and I'm like, holy shit, and walk right back out.
I agree. I've seen Greg full pelvic to pelvic, chest to chest, hug every kind of person you can imagine in this world. Any fucking like scramble it up, fucking albino lesbian from fucking Jamaica with 2 arms missing. Like I seen him. He has traveled to all the fucking continents and he has been welcoming to everyone. Have you met him, Athena?
Greg?
Yeah.
In person. I mean, we've talked on the phone.
No, TDC doesn't hug so much. No, he got a TDC and Boz don't hug so much. They have boundaries.
TDC.
That's the Dave Castro.
Oh, the Dave Castro. Sorry.
Yeah. And you say you're
Sorry, guys. No, it's early. Okay.
Not early enough to fucking rake me through the coals on my own podcast.
Sorry.
It has to be done.
You invited me.
I know. I'm inviting you again too.
Good.
So you go into the gym and they're crazy welcoming. You went to the 2017 open announcement, which is a really tough place to fucking get introduced to CrossFit, right? Because it's kind of it's the most hardcore the gym
I know.
is.
That was the first introduction to CrossFit. Very first day, they were doing 17.5.
And you go in there.
Yeah, I go in there, and
you open the door and everyone stares at you just like they would stare at anyone who walks in. Who's this new girl?
I mean, they're like,
Yeah.
But it didn't take long. Everybody was coming up and introducing themselves. By the way, this is My 5 Fitness in Lakeville, Minnesota.
Awesome. I love it. They're de-affiliated?
Are they?
I don't know. You said My 5 Fitness.
I don't know if they are still affiliates or not.
Okay, fine. Go on. So you walk in.
Yeah, I walk in and within a minute or two, they were all coming up. Hello, are you new here? It was pretty amazing. Never had that happen in my life. And then so I'm sitting around. We're watching.
Do you know it's scary for people to do that too? Not just to anyone, but to walk up to someone who's a larger bodied person. It's not.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, it goes both ways. It's not easy for some fucking 100-pound dude who's 5'5" to fucking walk over and introduce himself to 500 because it's the unknown, right? It's that's all it is. It's no judgments, nothing. It's just you're afraid of the unknown. It's the same reason like you don't pet strange dogs. It's just the unknown. But go on. So people in CrossFit transcends that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It can. Yes.
Yeah, it can. Sorry, it can. It can.
It can. So I'm watching everybody and they were like, hey, Athena, a year from now, that's going to be you. And I was like, bullshit. And at the time, it wasn't even something that I could fathom because I was on canes. Like how can you can't process.
You walked in there with canes?
Yeah, I was on canes. 2 walking canes. That's how I had to walk.
Did you hate that?
I strongly disliked it. Yes.
Strongly. Did you have the kind that went around like a Forrest Gump had, like the steel thing wraps around your
yeah, they had
forearms?
Well, steel, but they did have the canvas now, but yes, same thing.
Yeah, when I see those, I think that means you're gonna have those for the rest of your life. Like when I see those kind, I'm like, oh, you're fucked.
Yeah.
But I'm not that judgmental.
You're not. You just created a story. Oh, they're fucked.
They are fucked if they have those.
Okay. So let's see. Yeah, so
just how welcoming it was.
It was incredible.
And your life, to be fair, also, your life had not been that way for the first 35 years of your life. Your story is your book is littered with places. Well, except for your drug friends. Your drug friends seem pretty cool.
They were cool. They were cool.
They were cool, huh?
You know what? I would never condone, that type of behavior now, but that was some of the best times of my life.
Yeah. That first crew that you smoke weed and cigarettes and do coke with and drink, and you guys watch like old episodes of Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
That shit is so fun.
It was fun. Those were good memories.
People falling asleep on couches.
Yeah. I think, everybody's got to go through that stuff,
Yeah.
Part of growing.
But besides that, there weren't too many places where you were welcome. Without being basically hazed.
Well, interesting question. Was it really because I wasn't welcome, or was it because that was the story I created?
Damn, you're good.
I take full responsibility for creating those stories. Do I know that I wasn't welcome anywhere? No, I don't.
The miracle morning. Yeah. Never blame, full accountability.
That's right.
Do you think Scott Panchek should be fully accountable and responsible for landing on that rope and twisting his ankle? Hurting his knee? Do you know that story?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Isn't that a trip?
I sent Scott a message in my story. He ended up reposting it, and there's only, you know what? I'm not gonna appoint blame on anybody. It's unfortunate.
God, he's a good dude, isn't he? Fuck, he's a good dude.
I felt terrible for him.
Me too. I felt terrible for myself that I didn't get to watch him compete the rest of the week.
I sent him some prayers but he's got great news.
He does?
Yeah, he has fabulous news.
His wife's pregnant again.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, is that the road to happiness? Taking full accountability and responsibility? Is that?
I think that once you get comfortable in your own shit, it changes everything. The journey could be long, like I said, I'm still working on mine. We're going to be working on our own shit forever. Right.
Right.
But, yeah, I do. There are reasons and there are factors and there are things that ignite and, reasons why we are the way we are. We could talk about my weight and how that started. I understand it. I understand how it started. I understand how it perpetuated. I understand how it still perpetuates today. But I'm owning it. And I own all of it.
Congratulations on the book.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the second book.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the seminar.
Thank you.
I know that I know we're finishing prematurely. That's 100% my fault.
We're finishing premature. Oh, yeah. Are we?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I could talk to you. I'd like to talk to you for another hour. We have a shitload of people watching. I think we could talk for another hour. I think people
Where are you
would like
going?
it. I would have to talk about with the boy. I have another podcast in 9 minutes.
Jeez Louise.
I know. It's not my fault. It is my fault. I'm fully responsible. Beautiful having you on. And one final thing. So you will do this beta, the Scaled Nation beta, and that will be on what day?
The first beta is June 4th, which is next Saturday. It's in Des Moines, Iowa.
And it's sold out already, right?
It's close, yeah.
Okay.
And then our second one is in Wisconsin,
okay,
July 9th.
Okay.
And then we have our first live course in September. That is in Austin, is going to be the first one. Hey, scroll down, Sevan. Oh, yeah. Put your name there. You need to come to this course. I think that you would benefit the most.
Sevan Matosian would benefit the most?
Fill it out. You got to put your name there and your email address. Do it.
That's an incredible photo.
He is amazing.
Who is that?
That is Morgan's husband. Oh boy, she's gonna kill me. Adam. His name is Adam.
Wow, good job.
Oh.
Hey, good job. Hey, I would have never been able. I can't even remember your name. What's your name? Empowering people to live without a circled in yellow limitations. Okay, what did you want me to
scroll down?
Oh shit! Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. June 4th, July 9th, September 10th in Austin, Texas. Oh shit! This thing's rolling.
Oh yeah. So we got a partnership where me and Tosh are.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then we got the Brazilian tour.
Wow.
Sevan, Brazil is Carol Pascual.
Oh yeah, I know her.
Oh God, I love this woman.
Cool chick. Yep, great chick.
She is helping me set up the Brazilian tour, and I am super excited about that. It's going to be like 4 different cities around.
Hey, she's a pretty hardcore OG that a lot of people don't know.
She's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, she's pretty gnarly. That's a committed. I was gonna say young lady, but I mean, I think I've seen her around for over 10 years.
She has been just a complete, such a supporter of this course. She's been oh, I love you, Rosemary. Right there, she is.
Yeah, it's a great picture of her too.
She she is helping me with this. There'll be 4 or 5 cities, 4 or 5 boxes, 50 coaches, give or take, 5 days down there. And we're hoping to get some education down there, and we can start helping the larger body demographic in southern Brazil, which is very problematic right now. Yeah. So this is where we're putting, more is going to be added, but this is what we have up there right now. And as the course launches, it'll be that first one in September. We'll be ready by then.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me.
Everyone who thought that I won, stay listening. Everyone who thought Athena whooped my ass, fuck off. And